Hey guys, so we are set up at the library. And the first camera that I want to talk about is that $1,200 camera that you have right now, and it's the iPhone. Yes, your iPhone is a $1,200 camera that can make calls, and it is perfect if you're just starting out with your content creation. We're going to first get into the pros, and then we'll get into the cons. Let's go. So the first pro is that this camera has a 0 learning curve. You can give this to your husband, you can give this to your mom. I can even give this to my 5-year-old and be able to get good footage from it. Most people have iPhones and they know how to work the camera, so there's no issue there. And then we have stabilization. Your iPhone has really good stabilization. If you have noticed, when you're walking and recording yourself, you still get really good footage that's usable and not shaky at all. So the stabilization on the iPhone is really good. So if you're trying to vlog and you don't know where to start with what you already have in your pocket, because I know you have one. Next, you have multiple lens options with your iPhone. You have the 0.5, which gives you a nice wide view. You can literally have your phone this close to you and get a good image of the background and your face. The different modes on the iPhone are really good as well and super beginner friendly. So there's also an option on your iPhone called the ProRes, and it's really good for editing. But I don't use that because of the con that I'm going to talk about later on in this video. But if you're more advanced and you want to do editing, you can use the ProRes option on your iPhone. Now, as far as low light performance, I think my iPhone works great in low light. Honestly, I'd rather pull my iPhone out than my camera in low light, just because I don't have to mess with any of the settings, because the iPhone is really good at automatically fixing the settings so that you can see yourself in a low light situation. You also have your flash on your phone that you can use. Now with content creating, you're going to be getting a lot of files and things on your phone, and if you're not editing on your phone, you want to be able to get that footage on your computer. So what I love is AirDrop. If you have an iPhone and you have a Mac, AirDrop is so convenient. Mind you guys, I just got a Mac about a week ago, and when I tell you AirDrop has literally saved my life and changed the game for me, you might be like, girl, you're being dramatic. And I probably am. But I used to have a Windows, and transferring files was a lot more complicated as opposed to just AirDropping it straight from my phone straight to my Mac. So literally, I'm never going back to Windows just for that simple fact. Now let's get into the cons, because Miss Girl is not perfect. So it has limited manual controls compared to a camera. But if you're a beginner, that really doesn't bother you. But if you are used to working with cameras, then you are limited to what Apple gives you. Next, you have your battery. The battery will drain because this is a phone. It's not just a camera, so you're using it to text, call, be on the internet, so that does drain your battery. So if you're also using it to record things, that can be a problem, especially when you're recording something for a long amount of time. And next, we have the thing that I hate the most about this camera is iPhone storage. Don't get me started on iPhone storage. I hate it. It fills up quickly, and honestly, it feels like a money grab. So when you get cloud storage, the thing that I don't like is it's not actually storage. Whatever you have on your phone is in the cloud. So if you delete something from your phone, it's also deleted in the cloud. So it doesn't really feel like extra storage. I'm currently at 6 terabytes of iCloud storage, and I'm paying, I think it's $30 a month. That's insane. It's insanity. But I had to do that for the time being until I figure out my file system. But until I figure out my file system, I do have my camera now, so I will be using that more often than I am using my phone. So eventually I'm going to go back down and delete some videos, delete some photos, because there's no reason that I should have to be paying $30 a month for iCloud storage. And that is another reason why I don't use ProRes, as what we talked about earlier, is because those files are so large that your phone is going to fill up extremely fast. And like I said, iCloud storage is going to cost you a leg and an arm. And the last con is the iPhone is expensive. I know a lot of times we don't buy our iPhones, well, at least for me. I guess I'm just talking for me. I've never bought my iPhone straight out right for the $1,200. I did have it on my cell phone plan, so I did pay a monthly fee, but the iPhone is $1,200 to $1,800 phone. So that's an expensive camera. So it is by no means an inexpensive camera. It's just something that a lot of us already have. All in all, the iPhone, I would give it an 8 out of 10 because it's always going to be there. You're always going to have your phone before you have your cameras. And I don't have to miss a great shot just because I don't have my camera. So if you're just starting off shooting your content, just know that you have a camera literally in your pocket. Next, we have our wonderful ZV-E1. This is a Sony camera, and I'm actually filming this video on this camera. And when I tell you I love this camera, the footage is so crisp, so clean. I'm actually super excited to learn more about this camera because I am newer to a full frame camera. So I have used this to vlog a couple times just to practice, and I really love the wide shot that it gives me, the 1.8, which is a very wide lens. This is my only lens that I have. This camera is actually made for content creators. Everything that a content creator would mostly need from this camera. It has the flip out screen monitor. You can actually look at yourself while you're recording. Holding it is very easy. It's lightweight, so it's portable. This camera is really good in low light, so I'm going to add some footage of that so you can see it in the low light, and you can see where you have good light, and it does give you good footage either way. So that is really good because you're not always going to have perfect lighting everywhere you go. Then we have built-in stabilization. I use this for vlogging. From a beginner's perspective, you won't have any issue with the stabilization. It's a full frame camera. It has interchangeable lenses, which, like I said, you can get more of a blurred background depending on your settings. I haven't much played around with a lot of lenses, but I do plan to get into that, and I can't wait to share with you guys the more that I learn about lenses so that we can learn together. For the cons, this camera is a camera. So when you're taking it out in public, you might expect people to look at you because you have a camera in your hand. There's nothing discreet about it as opposed to a phone. Then we have the learning curve. You have to learn how to work your camera. Once you have a camera, you're going to want to start learning more about it. The intelligent auto mode is only going to get me so far. Eventually, I know I'm going to want more out of this camera because I know that it can give me more. So the learning curve is a bit steep, but once you get there and you actually start learning it, you're going to love finding new features and new things that you can do with your camera. This camera is perfect for playing content, talking head videos, and videos when you're trying to create a scene, when you want good footage, crisp footage. This camera is perfect for that. I'm going to give this camera an 8 out of 10 as well because I love it. I love the footage that it gives me. The only reason why I'm giving it an 8 is because it's a camera and you have to get used to holding around a camera in your hand and letting people know that you're recording, basically. But other than that, it would be a 10 out of 10. For our next camera, we have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This camera blew up. There were so many videos about this camera. Everybody was talking about this camera. Everybody loved this camera. It was great. Honestly, I fell for the hype. This camera is an awesome camera. It's really small, which makes it nice and discreet. I use it while I'm filming my workout content because it's on a gimbal. You can magnetize it on anywhere in the gym and get nice angles. So it's a great camera love that for the camera. It gives you 4K quality, and it's perfect for traveling. As far as the cons with the DJI, there is a learning curve. So I handed this camera to my sister. Mind you, she had never used a DJI ever before, and footage that I got was a little off. She didn't really understand the gimbal because she had never used it before. So there is a learning curve, and a lot of times somebody has to have worked with this camera before just for you to be able to give it to them and then to be able to get you good footage. It's kind of a small screen, but still a good screen. You still can see yourself, but it is smaller. This camera is also tiny, which is good and bad because it's easy to lose. You can lose this camera. I lost this camera once and it wasn't fun because it's so small. Sometimes you can lose it in your bag or just lose it anywhere, honestly, because it's so small. The last con is this camera is not durable. This is not a durable camera at all. The gimbal, a lot of times, it can be a little glitchy sometimes. I've had that happen. I've dropped this camera and it looks like I dropped her. And the first time that I dropped it, it actually shattered the lens. But thank goodness I had a lens protector. So the lens protector is what shattered, not the actual lens, which I'm so grateful for because that camera would have been done for. I don't have insurance on it, so I would have been out of a camera. And last, just a note to add in, that camera is now $799. I believe it is due to tariffs. So this camera is super expensive. Now, I bought this camera when it was $399, and I would not buy this camera at the price that it is now. Love the camera, use it a lot, but I would not buy it at the price that it is now. So there's that. Overall, I'd give the DJI 6 out of 10. Nice camera, love the quality. It's not my favorite, but I do use it a lot. So since I use it a lot, maybe it is my favorite, I don't know. But this camera is great for some B-roll because you can just stick it anywhere and just get nice B-roll. Also great angles, love that. And it's travel friendly because the size is so small. The next camera we want to get into are the Ray-Bans. Ooh, she's so cute. So they come in a lot of different styles. So they're sunglasses, first off and foremost. They're sunglasses, you can get a lot of different styles. I really love this and I think she's super cute. I got these as a gift. So would I buy these for content per se? No, I wouldn't buy the glasses for content just because of the limitations of it. They're $300. which is fine, but I personally wouldn't pay that just to record content. So what I love about the Meta glasses are the fact that it's hands-free. You just press this button or hold it down. You can get pictures or videos, and I really love that. Also, nobody knows that you're recording. Honestly, if somebody's staring in your eyes, there is a light that shines on the lens. Other than that, nobody knows that you're recording. So if you're shy, these are really nice. These glasses are great for behind the scenes and authentic footage. Because a lot of times when I'm with my son, he's doing something funny or goofy, I can just start recording him. I don't even have to pull anything out. I don't have to pull my camera out, and I get really nice behind the scenes authentic content. These are easy to use and they're super lightweight. They're literally an accessory. They're glasses, so super lightweight and easy to use. It's literally just a press of a button, or you can hold the button down to record. Now the cons of these glasses are the limited battery. This battery only lasts for 4 hours. They have a newer version that lasts for 8 now, which is great, but 4 hours is all you get. But for me personally, I don't use these glasses as long form content, so a lot of times it gives me that nice little short burst that I need, and that's fine. Next is the fixed focal length. This is a very wide lens. That's all you're gonna get. You can't zoom in, you can't zoom out. Also, aspect ratio of it is not my favorite, so I do have to zoom in if I'm using the footage for YouTube, or I have to zoom in and out if I'm using the footage for Instagram. Also, just you have to be aware of the glasses. The glasses are sitting here, so just know that the camera is here. So you have to be aware that sometimes I do have to look a little weird if I'm trying to get something, if I'm trying to get a certain view, because I am going to get, my view is going to be from here is the middle, and then you're going to get footage up here and you're going to get footage down here. So just be aware of the aspect ratio and where the lens is actually at. That leads me to, it can look awkward sometimes. Like if you're recording, you're trying to get something a certain way, it can look a little awkward, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm a content creator through and through. So most of the time, I really don't care that people see that I'm recording, because I'm also in a public place recording right now, and I don't care. All in all, this camera is best for POV content, really authentic content, because you just already had them on your head and you can't forget that you're using them. So this is really great for content and behind the scenes. In conclusion, I would give the Meta glasses a 5 out of 10. I like it, it's cute. I don't use the footage a lot, I don't use them a lot, but whenever I do, I'm glad that I have them. So I wouldn't consider these a waste of money because I got them as a gift, but as a content creator, do you need them? After watching this video, you can be the deciding factor for that. But here are my personal rankings of all the cameras that we talked about today. The iPhone for versatility, the ZV-E1 for quality, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for unique angles, and the Meta glasses for fun. I don't know.